Welcome to Mr. V Teaching Math. In this session, we are looking at the beginning of a new unit in my classroom. I'm going to do a brief introduction to the unit on measurement. During this unit, there are two things you're going to need to do. You're going to need to create 2 pages that you need to take notes on as we go through these lessons. The first page should be a vocabulary page, something like this. And in fact, what I've done here is I've put the first 2 definitions on this list. And there's going to be quite a few words that appear in the lessons. Sometimes I might write it down like this so that you can copy from here. Other times I might just say them out loud. What you're going to want to do is pause the video whenever a new word comes up that you don't know, copy it down into your vocabulary list, and then move on. So I hope you've paused by now. In fact, you'll notice I'm going to slide up circumference, and then I'm moving on. There's no way you had enough time to copy that down unless you pause the video. So, make sure you do that. It is important to know that list of vocabulary. Now, the second and far more important section is going to be formulas. You'll notice right now this page is blank. In our first lesson, we'll start looking at the first of our formulas. There's going to be quite a few that you have to write down, and I am going to require that you memorize them. I know that when you go on from my classroom, you may run into teachers that allow you to use cheat sheets during your tests or something like that, and that would be quite fine. I'm quite okay with some teachers that do that. But the reality is that some teachers don't, and that memorizing formulas is often part of what's required in some high schools nearby. Therefore, I'm choosing to go the harder route and require that you memorize all of the formulas for the test. Keep that in mind. There's going to be quite a few. Make sure, again, that every time you see me write a formula during the lessons that you pause, copy it down, and make sure you have a copy yourself. Keep in mind also that I'm going to be very specific about how we use them. Much like the other lessons I've done in the past, I'm going to be quite picky about how I evaluate the way you're using them. And I know that when you move on from my class, other teachers will give you quicker, shorter ways of doing it. And that's just okay. But given that we're just learning how to use formulas, we're going to start with baby steps. And keep in mind that the first formulas will be awfully easy and simple. In fact, some of you will think, I can do this in my head. Why in the world is Mr. V making me do all kinds of writing? That's because the harder questions you won't be able to do in your head.